Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Here at Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom.
Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 21.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 21.
Oh, man, watch this, Naquan.
When thou shalt vow a vow
When you break that bread and drink that cup.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Yep.
Thou shalt not slack to pay it.
You shall what?
Thou shalt not slack to pay it.
You got to be on it. You got to be grinding to make sure that you do the thing you say you're going to do all the time. Don't be slack to pay it. Go ahead.
For the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be a sin, and it would be sin in thee.
It's sin in thee. It's sin in you when you not executing your contract, when you not living up to the agreement in which you made. And again, the standard is Christ. That's the standard. He moved in order. He executed things. He did what he said he was going to do. He was at his appointed places, points on time, right? He put others before himself, right? That was how he moved. Go ahead.
Verse 22.
Yep.
But if thou shalt forbear to vow, it shall be no sin in thee.
Yep.
Verse 23. That which is gone out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform.
That which go out of your lips, you supposed to keep and perform. When you eat that bread, you drink that cup, thou shalt perform it. Go ahead.
Even a free will offering according as thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God, which thou hast promised with thy mouth.
So we said it's free will. You made that choice. You chose to break that bread and drink that cup. We gave you as much understanding as we could give you before you did it. You got to say, you know what? I said I'm going to live up to this standard, right? And again, we do the lock-in, right? We come in here with the soldiers and the officers, and we go over the standards. But yet and still, brothers seem to, they hear it, and they be like, rah! And we do the lock-in, and then 3 weeks later, no, Tuesday night, huh? Camp 101, what? Men of Valor, who? I'm sleeping. I'm busy. What does that mean? I don't know. Go ahead, Jenny.
Go to 2 Corinthians 13:5. The problem is, right, I was talking to some of the soldiers last night about this. The problem is y'all don't have no standard for yourself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Like, everybody in here should have a standard for yourself that lines up with the Bible and what you want to get accomplished in your life. Don't got nothing to do. Everything Cap is saying is in the Bible, all praises. The reality is y'all got to apply it. I want y'all to understand that. Like, the reality is you got to go home, you got to look in the mirror and say, I'm doing this or I'm not doing this. Read that.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith.
So you got to tell yourself, am I really in the truth? You got to have that conversation with yourself. You got to say, am I really doing what the Bible says or am I not? Say, examine yourself. We could tell you because we're going to see it. We're going to tell you. But you got to be able to say it. If you don't see it, you're not going to get to the kingdom. It's the reality of the situation. You're not getting to the kingdom unless you can say, I'm in the spirit or I'm out the spirit. You got to be able to tell that within yourself. You got to be able to examine yourself to that level to say, am I really doing this or am I just pretending? And a lot of times brothers are pretending because they're not examining themselves to say, I'm messed up. I'm not doing this. I'm not coming to these things. I'm not working on what I need to work on. So this class or the lock-in happens and then you hear it and then that's when you examine yourself because somebody else is telling you. You got to have a standard in your own self.
Within
That's what
yourself
the Bible's telling you.
all the time, to always continually looking for ways to improve. And they should look. And sisters, we not leaving y'all out, right? Y'all don't suck neither, right? Don't suck, right? Make sure y'all following through on the things y'all say y'all supposed to do, right? If you say, hey, I'm a make unleavened bread that day, make sure you follow through. If you say, hey, I'm a, organize this sisters outing, make sure you follow through. Because, again, whatever you do, right, you doing it unto the Lord. You make the name, you taking his name in vain. because you saying I'm going to do something, you saying you're going to execute a certain thing, and then you don't follow through on it. And a lot of times, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, it's nobody holding my hand and say, hey, Captain Zabud, go to Mexico. There's nobody holding my hand and say, hey, go visit Vegas, go visit blah, blah, blah. Nobody's saying that, right? But then within myself, I'm saying, well, I have a certain standard of what I think a captain should represent. Let alone, you know what I'm saying, the bishops and the deacons, right? They say, we got to do this, this, and this. But within myself, I still have a standard of what I should represent all the time. And you got to have a certain standard within yourself. What am I going to be? Who am I going to be? What kind of man, what kind of woman am I going to be? Go back to 1 Corinthians 11 again.
You want verse 27?
Yeah, 27.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 27.
Yeah.
Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily.
Unworthily. So when we saying unworthily, what does that mean? What does that look like? I'm going to ask you, brothers, you soldiers, right? Now, you don't got to answer. It's a rhetorical question. But does it hurt? It should hurt. It should be painful, right? Your wife shouldn't always be happy with you when you're doing X, Y, and Z, right? You should be what's the word? It should be uncomfortable. Like, dang, I done worked so hard. I don't even know if I have enough gas to make it to work this week. You know what I'm saying? You should be working hard. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that you are doing the things you got to do for the Lord. It should hurt. If it don't hurt, if it feel easy, like you just moving around, it ain't that difficult. Keeping the commandments ain't that hard. Doing what I got to do for the body ain't that hard. You're not working hard enough. You're not working hard enough. Go ahead.
Shall be guilty of
No, JDF gonna say something.
I ain't want to take you off the point. Can I go somewhere?
Yeah.
Go to Mark 6:31. Cap said it should hurt, right? Let's look at this. This is the scripture I look at, right? So y'all say y'all are apostles, right? Show of hands on this side, brothers. Who's an apostle? Okay, a couple of y'all. I'm saying y'all in here. Yeah, I guess not. Let's read Mark 6:31.
Book of Mark chapter 6 and verse 31. And he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat.
So you got to look at this, right? They was going so hard with answering questions and working for the people. They wasn't eating food. You follow what I'm saying? Christ had to tell them, hey, y'all need to eat. Y'all going to die. Y'all going to die. But meanwhile, brother be at home. It'd be Camp 101 on Tuesday. He eating a big fat dinner. You know what I'm saying? He not doing the push-ups on Camp 101, nothing. He just chilling. You know what I'm saying? And he do that every week.
It was easy. No integrity. No integrity doesn't exist. Read verse 27 again.
1 Corinthians 11:27.
Yeah.
Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord.
You guilty of violating the contract. You guilty. You have violated the contract in which you said, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to push myself. It's going to hurt. I want Hebrews chapter 12. I promise we're going to look at this video. I'm going to get it. I'm trying to get there, man. I want to see it. Just so you can see what hard work look like. Hebrews 12. We'll start at verse 1.
The book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1.
Hold on. I wrote something else down. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience unto the race that is set before us.
All right, read it again.
Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses.
Stop. He said we are greatly compassed with a cloud of witnesses. So what's going on? So you signed a contract with the Lord, right? You break that bread, you drink that cup. And he said you are compassed with a great cloud of witnesses. So the amount of effort you are putting into the contract that you signed with the Lord, it is somebody there evaluating you all the time. Read it again.
Wherefore, Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses.
That's what's happening. They are currently and constantly watching to see if you are living up to the contract that you put in place. You are compassed with a great amount of evaluators. They are writing down things saying, you know what, he didn't do this today. She didn't do this today. And that's going to all be in your write-up at the end when you get there. This is the contract that you said you was going to do. We evaluated you. You didn't do the stuff you said you was going to do. Or you did. I don't know. Go ahead.
Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us. And let us run with patience unto the race that is set before us.
Yep.
Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith.
So that's our example, right? Christ is our example. He is the author and finisher of our faith. So we saw the work that Christ did. We read these things, right? We supposed to have these things in our head in reference to what they're doing, what Christ did, and then we're supposed to say, okay, I got to live up to this standard because of how hard he worked, right? And it's people evaluating us and comparing us to the measure of Christ and saying, did he work that hard? Is he even doing anything? Is she even doing anything to get to that level? Go ahead.
Who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God.
Yep.
For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds.
What happens right there, like we were just saying, right? You get wearied, you get faint, you get tired in your own mind. I'm tired, man. That's when you need to push the hardest. When you get tired, when you feel like, man, I'm drained. I need a break. Go ahead, Andy. You seem like you need to say something.
Got the corded mic.
Yeah.
Hey, that's okay. Let's go there. Epaphroditus. Who knows who Epaphroditus is? Am I saying his name right? Say it again. You know, Epaphroditus. Oh, okay, that guy. Go to Philippians chapter 2. We're gonna read 2:25. Yeah, just a guy. Because what Cat was just saying, even when you're tired, that's when your second wind should kick in. We all tired, but think about the man. Okay, let me tell you before we hit that. I'm gonna talk about Officer Azariah. I had to slow Azariah down because he was here every day to open up the school, to close the school, for Camp 101, for the Sabbaths. He would take off work to be here if I or somebody else needed him for something. He was always making himself available. And the thing is, man, brothers get burnt out because nobody else is filling the gap. They're not taking up the slack. He's trying to do it all. And then what happens? This brother gets sick. It happens to us. You got me?
Book of Philippians chapter 2 and verse 25. Yet I supposed it necessary to send to you Epaphroditus, my brother and companion in labor, and fellow soldier, but your messenger, and he that ministered to my wants.
Go ahead.
For he longed after you all, and was full of heaviness, because that ye had heard that he had been sick.
I'm about to change Azariah's name to this guy's name, Epaphroditus. Go ahead.
For indeed he was sick nigh unto death, but God had mercy on him.
Why did God have mercy on him? Because of what?
Brother Ezekiel, for his hard labor and dedication to the body.
Right. He was living up to the contract. Go ahead.
But God had mercy on him, and not on him only, but on me also, lest I should have sorrow upon sorrow.
Go ahead.
I sent him therefore the more carefully, that when ye see him again, ye may rejoice, and that I may be the less sorrowful. Receive him therefore in the Lord with all gladness, and hold such in reputation, because for the work of Christ he was nigh unto death, not regarding his life, to supply your lack of service toward me.
Not regarding his own life for the service of Christ. He would do whatever it took, to the point that he was nearly ready to die. But God had mercy on him, gave him that second wind. But that's the thing. We don't want to get to the point that we're all about to die because we're trying to put in the work,
Right.
or specific people, sisters are putting in the work, and nobody else is stepping up.
Right.
We got to all do it.
Yep. Read that part again. Ananias just
I just blew right past
blew the
it.
whole scripture off. Read it one more time.
Which one?
The one you just read. 9 unto death.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 30.
Yeah.
Because for the work of Christ,
For the work of Christ. So he was working for Christ, fulfilling his contract. Go ahead.
he was nigh unto death,
He was about to die because he was working so hard.
not regarding his life,
Uh-huh.
to supply your lack of service.
Supply
toward-
what?
Your lack of service.
What he had to supply?
Your lack of service.
So brothers and sisters wasn't doing their part.
I was coming back to that, but go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You got it. You got
No,
it.
go ahead.
Ananias.
No.
No, you got it.
You got it. I
Nah,
don't
nah,
want
you
to
got
mess
it.
with the lack of service here, you know. No, exactly, the lack of service, and that's what we see. We see it. We see it. You see it at work in your own workplace. There's always one person doing the work of 5 people. It's always like that, and it definitely should not be like that in this body. You know, we signed a contract with God that we're supposed to be putting in the work, regardless of our situation. But like you said, there is a balance, but find that balance. Don't just use that balance that whatever it is that's holding you back for a reason not to do it.
All right, let's read some fine print. Some more fine print in the contract. Leviticus 19:17. Let's look at this fine print. Brothers read this one too and be like, I'm applying this. I love my neighbor like I love myself.
The book
Fine
of,
print. That's what Epaphroditus was showing you, right? They didn't love their neighbor as they love themselves. Go ahead.
the book of Leviticus chapter 19 verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
All right, he opened up the school every day. I'm not going to worry about that. That's not my business. Who cares? Who cares if he opened up the school every day? Nobody told me to open up the school. I ain't even going to ask. The code, I don't even want the code. You want me to, I don't even care. Who opens the school? Who cares? Tuesday? I don't even know.
I just show up.
I just come when I come.
I just show up.
I'm not even thinking about that. But I don't hate him, though. I love him, though. That's shalom, brother.
I love that
you.
brother.
Love that brother. All right, keep going.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor,
Uh-huh.
and not suffer sin upon
I'm not
him.
going to suffer sin upon him, but what y'all do, right? What you got to realize is when you put a brother in that space, you can cause them to sin. Because now when you walk in the room, they're like, man, look at all these brothers that don't do nothing. That's what they thinking in their head. Y'all don't know how many times y'all put Boda in that position where we got to be like, hey, Boda, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. Onias, brother, I'm serious. I see it on their face. I got to pull them to the side and be like, relax. Because brothers get upset at y'all. They be like, look, y'all don't come. Y'all don't do stuff. Y'all not participating like y'all need to. And then I got to be like, don't say nothing to them. Just
Give me your
relax.
purple shirt back, man.
Yeah,
if you don't
that's-
want to do nothing.
You know me too, Cap. Cap, you having to slow me down. You know what I'm saying? I'm guilty.
If you don't want to do nothing, just give me your purple shirt back. It's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Keep going. Last one. My fault.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
So what happens now is the brother has a grudge against you, right? It's not because of something that you did to him, but it's because you don't put in work. So when he sees you, he has this perception of you. He has this mindset about you that he has to get out of his mind, right? So what you do is you make it tougher on him. But again, we don't think about these things. We don't think about how our perception affects the man next to us. We don't care. And that's why we're in this position as a community, as a nation. We don't care about how what we do affects the man next to us. Keep going.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Now, if I love myself, I wouldn't want to be in a position where I'm doing everything by myself. So I'm supposed to love my neighbor that way. Why would I let him do everything by himself? But again, we don't love our people. We don't love ourselves. That's what this is showing you. Because if we loved ourselves, we would put that effort out, and other brothers would reciprocate it. But we don't understand that.
Let's look at SIRACH chapter 16, verse 1. I'm going to say this to y'all soldiers, to y'all officers. Yeah, we're going to get to it, man, I promise. SIRACH 16 and 1.
Book of Sirach, chapter 16 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children,
Yes.
neither delight in ungodly sons.
Right. So my soldiers, my officers, right? If y'all not profitable, it's okay, right? Give me your shirts back. Right? Because I don't want to have a bunch of soldiers just to say I got a bunch of soldiers. I don't want to have a bunch of officers just to say I got a bunch of officers. It don't make me feel no type of way. I'd rather have 6 brothers, you know what I'm saying, and 4 sisters that's grinding than just a bunch of people in purple. Go ahead.
I'm going to keep it real with y'all. The same 6 or 7 brothers with a couple additions is still doing the work that it took to get the building.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The same sisters that was putting in the work before we got to school is doing that with a couple additions, maybe like 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the brothers. So we got to just be real about it.
Yep.
Like the Lord brought y'all in here and you're not putting in no work. He'll remove you on his own.
On his own. And I say this to my wife all the time, right? Just because you got more sisters don't mean you got more sisters, just mean you got more sisters. You know what I'm saying? You got more people, but you don't have more laborers.
Message.
We need laborers. That's what the scriptures say, right? We need laborers. The harvest is plenteous, the laborers are few. Let's go back to Hebrews 12:3.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse 3.
Yeah.
For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself,
Yep.
lest ye be weary and faint in your mind.
So you supposed to, when you reading these scriptures, right? You supposed to be considering yourself. You supposed to say, "Dang, am I the brother that's working hard in the scriptures, or am I the sister that's grinding in the scriptures, or am I the one that they talking about that's wicked?" You know what I'm saying? Which one am I? And that wickedness might not look like, "Oh, I'm eating pork." That wickedness might not look like, "Oh, I'm not wearing fringes. Oh, I'm fornicating." It might not look like that. The wickedness could look like, "Oh, I'm just slothful. Oh, I just don't have no follow through. I don't execute nothing that I say I'm gonna execute." If the officer tell me to do something and then he forget about it, I'm not gonna never bring it up. I'm just gonna let him forget about it. He ain't bring it up, so I ain't gonna bring it up. Go ahead.
The reason I go so hard on y'all about this because that was me. Cap would tell me certain stuff, I wouldn't follow through. You follow what I'm saying? Like, it's not like me going in on y'all to show y'all like y'all could change from where y'all at.
Yep.
Y'all got to really understand that, but it's not acceptable to be that way.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.